Stuart, thank you very much for coming to Sussex, talking to my Academy Group.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Very practical guide on boosting sales performance, very, very relevant. What would you say were the top 2 or 3 tips that you give to business leaders to boost sales performance?
Well, some of the messaging I shared with your group today, David, was primarily focusing on activity, so the inputs, not just the outputs. The vast majority of the people and businesses are obviously keen to have their outputs, and so we want to make sure we address the balance to make sure that they can have continual growth, continual development, continual results by making sure that everybody is producing the right amount of inputs to get those outputs. So I think that was the overall message. The other key factor is that based probably on that criteria of people that are putting the inputs in over ones that aren't, is subdividing those into 2 groups as well. So quite often people might have the will, but they haven't had the skills. So it's also investing heavily in making sure you upskill your people and you're investing enough time in them to make sure they know what they're supposed to do. Just because they've got the label of salesperson doesn't know that they necessarily know how to sell. I suppose those are 2 key messages around that one. And I suppose the third message is that you probably even have long established salespeople in your organisation, and we all have a tendency to probably pick up 1 or 2 bad habits. I know my driving definitely has done that. So ultimately is making sure we put people back into conscious competencies. So if they've picked up some bad habits, how can they make sure they refresh those? And one great way of doing that is to get your top people to help some of the bottom people produce those results as well. So they're almost doing that internally as well.
Stuart, thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome. Thank you, David.